thoughts, views, and opinions of this podcast are for those who don't give a fuck about others' thoughts, views, and opinions. We say what the fuck we want to say. And if that's how we feel, that's how we feel. And if you hurt, so what? Keep moving on. Respectfully. Welcome to the show.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Respectfully a Pod Show 40-something. 40-something. You know what I mean? If you're new here, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm here. Swayze's here. S. Dot is here in the motherfucking building. And if you're also new here, we appreciate it if you like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know what I mean? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm
I'm
good.
doing good. Weekend went quick. I'm straight.
Too quick.
Weekend definitely went quick.
Too quick. Too motherfucking quick. Before we get started, guys, I wanted to say something. I guess I wanted to, and you know, it's obviously kind of related to what we're talking about tonight. By the way, tonight we're talking about failed relationships, whether it be with a spouse, a friend, a coworker, just whatever. And we also gonna be getting on them baby mamas. I'm sorry, we don't have any baby daddies, so it's not a woman hate thing. It's just speaking about shit that we can relate to or have been close to and seen other people kind of go through certain things or whatever. You know, that's what we got on the slate tonight. Of course, we got Looking for Love, and we might have some bars for y'all, maybe not. As we sit here today, I've had a week, and you know, I wanted to really record last week because I felt like it would have been a lot more entertaining and a lot more raw. But I still wanted to address, you know, when you're doing stuff with people, man, and especially with friends, if you go into something with each other, man, everybody is in agreement that, you know, we got a goal and we want to do something. We want to get better. We want to grow, whether it be a fucking car wash, a drive-through, a fucking production company, a fucking whatever, you name it. Everybody got to be committed to the one common goal, and everybody has to play a part. Everybody has a role. It may not be as polished or well-defined as it could be, but those are things when you kind of just starting shit from scratch and you don't know what the fuck you really doing. You know, you got to give those things time to mold and let things fall into their place. And no matter what goes on this pod, I want y'all two to know Swayze is family. So he's going to always be my family, whether I want him to or not. That don't mean I got to talk to his ass, but ain't nothing on this pod going to make me be like, hey, I'm not rocking with y'all. Same with S. Dot. S. Dot is, you know, that's my homie. So, and he's like a brother. And it don't matter what the fuck goes on this pod. At the end of the day, I'm a, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna hit my nigga up. I'm gonna hit Swayze up, you know, and if they hit me up, I'm gonna answer, and we gonna be cool. I'm never gonna not wanna be cool with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just because of some disagreements or some shit that we got over whatever it is we working on together. And I just want to say that.
No, I feel you too, man. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, you know, like, you know, how people would say like bros before hoes. You know what I mean? Like maybe relating it to the pod or whatever. You know, it'd be bros before the pod. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like we still gonna be brothers at the end of the day.
Facts.
You know,
For sure.
like
For sure.
whether we want a pod or not, or you know, if we have disagreements, but it should never get to the point where like motherfuckers fall out because shit didn't work out. You know, at the end of the day, we should all be there for each other.
Facts.
I just want to say I'm a little tipsy. You know what I'm saying? So if I ain't making sense, I
You got it.
apologize.
What you been drinking on? What you been drinking on, Swayze?
I've been drinking on Woodford Reserve.
That Woodford Reserve. That's the second appearance we done seen of that Woodford Reserve. Shout out to
I've
them.
had I've had a bunch of, I'm a fairly new drinker, so I'm trying to find something that I really like, and I always keep coming back to that.
Swayze, you've been saying a fairly new drinker for a year and a half now. I mean, when does the
That's
fairly new drinker stop?
Shit, when you maybe 3 years in the game.
Okay,
oh
Swayze,
okay.
You
3 years of
gotta
seniority.
you
right?
gotta understand, bro. Like y'all been drinking for a long time. Like y'all been drinking since I've known y'all. Like I remember hanging out with Jermaine back in 2016, 17. This motherfucker trying to get me to drink beer. I might drink half and pour the other half out in his sink. You know what I mean? Trying to act like I'm drinking. So
I'll
I've
never
been
offer you
drinking.
a beer ever again.
Hell nah, bro. You tripping. But what I'm saying is that I'm new to it, so I'm trying to, you know, I ain't deep in the game like y'all yet. But I'm
Now he
damn
just
near
admitted to wasting the beer.
I'm damn
Facts.
near I feel like I might be on the fence of an alcoholic.
On the fence, okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
for sure.
So I'm on the fence of
I
alcoholic.
like
What is
hey,
that?
I like drinking and it's to the point now where I'm like, damn, like I really wish all the times I had before in the past where like people wanted to like take a sip and drink, like I always pass up on it. And I wish I didn't at this point.
Well,
Make up for it now.
for
I'm
sure.
definitely making up for it now. That's for goddamn sure.
Making up for it now. You got another year and a half as a rookie drinker, so
Yes,
you enjoy it.
sir. Trying
You
to
enjoy
figure
that.
find my way.
Yeah. But serious note, back just to close out what I was saying, it ain't nothing ever that serious, y'all. We got to work through things. We're gonna have disagreements, and when you definitely trying to build something, grow something, you can't get mad at the nigga who trying to take the lead. I guess if you're not gonna take the lead, somebody got to, or we just all doing nothing. You know what I mean? And we grown ass men. I felt like our skin is a little bit thick or a little bit tougher than certain things, but disrespect, I'm never going to I'm not trying to hand none out, and I'm definitely ain't going to receive none. So,
You saying you ain't tolerating the disrespect?
nah. So, and if you feel disrespected, that's cool. We can talk about it. But yeah, I'm not doing it. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We got the 3 Negroes here. And we're going to keep doing what the fuck we doing, y'all. So, again, if you haven't yet, make sure you like the video. It really helps us out. And if you fucking with us, then let us know you're really fucking with us and you're here to support. Which brings us to, like I said before, failed relationships. You know what I'm saying? We thought that would be an interesting conversation. Some of our experiences or how we feel about, failed relationships, what could cause or something that a best friend or a family member could do that would make you just be like, yeah, I'm not fucking with them. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm cut off.
So I took some time to prepare for this. Yeah, for me.
Shout out to Shannon
But there's a
for
couple
preparedness.
there's a couple things that I did kind of like think about while I was calling myself preparing for this. I think calling failed relationships friendships kind of hit a little different. Just because they kind of end don't mean they failed. That's kind of some of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking about some of my past friendships, past relationships. That doesn't mean they was failures.
Right. So you're talking about like
Yeah,
seasons. They say people come in your
yeah,
life like seasons,
fact, fact. But what can a person do? I don't know. I think I really kind of need to be in that moment. I'm a forgiver. Uh, I'm a humbly forgiver. So, I give people chances. So what can a person do for us to kind of cut ties? I'm not really sure what that really looks like for real. Like crossing some boundaries or, some shit like that.
Right. I got you.
I'm not really sure what that kind of looks like. But people do grow apart. You know what I mean? I think that people just kind of outgrow each other when friendships or relationships come to an end.
Okay. Do you think it's ever okay to ghost a friend?
What do you mean?
Nah, not when we're talking about friendships. I mean, some people use friendships, relationships lightly. Uh, for me, I'm not serious about my friends, my relationships. So, nah, I think ghosting, what I would call a friend or being in a relationship, I wouldn't call ghosting being okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm guilty of that.
Elaborate.
Um, like I said, I'm a little tipsy, so I feel like I'll regret this later, you know. Um, but yeah, just keeping it real. Yeah, I'm a prime example of like a bad friend in a way. Um, I got a homie, man, back home in Ohio, and he's been going through a lot of shit, and I haven't been there for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he was probably like my best friend in Ohio. Um, my guy Mark. And you know, um our next topic, about toxic relationships, baby moms and all that. Um, like he was there for me through all that. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like in my life now, I'm busy. I got the kids, I got sports, I got work, I got chores around the house. It's like I'm always just busy, 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 busy. And I can never take a moment to reach out to somebody who needs me as a friend. Um,
Right.
and
So what's
yeah,
stopping you from
I
if
think
you
I
were
would consider that a want and not
I
a.
think I think what's stopping me now is like the initial not responding to him within that week time frame, going not responding right away. And I feel like I have something that like makes me paranoid thinking like he's mad or something, and then it just I don't know. I just kind of distant myself, but like my dude had cancer, bro. You know what I mean? And I talked to him in the beginning, but I had so much guilt for not being there for him that I kind of just distant myself,
right?
And I ain't gonna lie, that shit eats me up every day. If he ever comes across this post or this video, yeah, shit eats me up every day, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I could be there for him and be the friend that he was to me, but you know.
So why not? You think that if you hit him up and if you feel like you know that you kind of in the wrong here, you ain't done him right as a friend, you know, a real friend, if he's really your friend, don't you think if you hit him up and you were sincere saying, hey man, my bad. I know I haven't really been here, whatever. And, it's been eating me up inside and I just had to at least reach out just to let you know my bad. And, I'm, I care about you or whatever. I think you put that in his hands, pause. And if he's a real friend, he may look at it and take a couple of days to respond, but he's going to accept your apology and then y'all can move forward. But I think that's better than just letting it keep going. And then every day, it just time goes by, and tomorrow's not promised. You know what I mean? And I think that would eat you up more if something happened to either you or him, and then y'all never got to at least just be like, hey, last time I talked to Swayze, it was all good, or this or that, instead of having the thought of, yeah, man, I went through this and Swayze ain't even fucking check on me, or you, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get to say nothing to him or fix it,
Yeah, you're right.
you know? So, as men, I think we do got to step up and do certain things that we don't like to do, put our pride aside sometimes and do what's hard. And, but you already feeling that way is, I feel like half the way. And you just got to do the hard part and just reach out.
That's the hard part.
Yep.
But
Pause. Pause. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure that falls under failed relationships. I think there's just some sort of like, miscommunication there. I wouldn't call that a failed relationship,
I mean,
failed friendship, not unless you calling it done. Like
nah,
if
I'm
you
definitely
suggested
I'm
that you calling it done and that you about to ghost him, now that would be a failure.
yeah, I'm definitely not calling it done. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's just something with me that makes it hard for me to like reach out to people, you know.
I mean, I will say you will make time for what's important. And unfortunately, that's just what it does feel like. I know that probably don't make you feel any better, but it's been a person in his position. I've been there before, and you know, I know life can get busy, and I know things can get real hectic. But if it's important, you'll make time.
Message.
Anybody that I was cool with, unless it was some like crazy shit where it's like, hey, nigga, fuck you. I don't ever want to talk to you, or saying some mad disrespectful shit. I'm still my niggas. So whatever they got going on, I don't know if it's extra shit going on or whatever. Them still my people. But for a relationship to end with me, I'm not even cool with that many people to, I guess, feel like any of this is even really an option. But, a nigga sleeping with my bitch behind my back, for sure. Somebody who is just not really supportive of me, found out they hating or whatever the fuck, or they don't believe in shit that I'm doing, too busy to pick up the phone every now and then. You still gonna be my nigga. I'm just gonna stop calling. You know what I mean? Kind of shit like that, man. Ain't really too much. And like I said, I don't have a big circle. So my circle is very small, and the shit that would end a relationship or a friendship with me, I just don't see any of my people doing it, even if we on bad terms. So it's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It makes sense. Our circles, I agree with the small circle, and I think that small circle is what keeps people around a long time. You know, when you have a big circle, you might experience some, everything is not going to be great. So when you have that small circle, I think it's a little easier to manage,
Yeah.
a little easier to be a good friend to a small circle, to be a great friend to a huge circle.
Yeah,
Ooh, Shannon preaching.
I definitely have a small circle. That's for sure.
Pause.
I don't know what the pause was with that, but yeah. I ain't gonna lie though. I feel like if it wasn't like I feel like I'm the reason I have a small circle. I have a bunch of friends back home, bro, that if I would have just like kept, like communication with, like, I feel like things would be a little different, but I don't
Are they
know.
friends though?
I was about to
Yeah,
ask, but is
yeah.
everybody actually like friends? Like, I don't consider everybody
No, I'm
friends.
definitely gonna say these are friends. If I did better, if I was a better friend, like, yeah, these would be friends. Whether they live in Maryland and I live in Ohio, um, you know, like we have too much technology nowadays where distance doesn't really separate your friendship. You know what I mean? Like if you live in Ohio, that doesn't mean that we're still not bros. You know what I mean? Like you guys, you live in Ohio, you live in Pennsylvania. We're still cool. You know what
Shout
I
out to
mean?
our
And that,
locations.
and that's, I feel like that's the same way it is for me, but I don't know. I wasn't always like this, but the next topic is the reason that put me in a shell. You know what I mean?
Well, so let's get to the next topic then. You know, let's get to these dirty bitches. I'll speak for myself. I'm sorry, but
Are you right? Let's get to these dirty bitches, bro.
and now, guys, you enter the bitter baby daddy segment of Respectfully a Pod Show. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Swayze, what you got for us, man? Let's talk about these baby mamas. Let's talk about us having sex out of wedlock, having children out of wedlock, and not putting a ring on these bitches. And now these are living through the ramifications.
Hmm.
I don't even know where to start. Um, like for me, like you guys already know like my situation. Um, I feel like I've been going through bullshit since 2018. Jermaine knows that because we go way back from when a baby mom was out with his baby mom, went to a job and lost her shit. You know what I mean? So since that day, like I've been dealing with it. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The patience and all that. So,
Yeah. Just go into the light.
right. So, you know, I don't know, man. Something that I never felt. Go
I do
ahead.
want to say just real quick, just because you brought that story up and I've heard you tell it before. Going to someone's job and pretending like that's your job is crazy work.
That's
Crazy work.
crazy work, bro. Hella crazy work, bro.
Crazy work.
But you gotta understand that it's crazy work, but at the same time, it's the devil's work. You know what I mean? Like that poison, the shit that you poison yourself with, like that's all the devil's work, bro. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it,
So
but
what's
yeah,
your
if we
what's your biggest issue with, I guess, baby moms?
baby moms, I feel like, and this would be a lot different for most people, but me personally, it's just people that do drugs and just ruin their lives doing drugs. Not, you know, whether like for example, the woman that I'm with now, um, she's a blessing. You know what I mean? And the things that she experienced in her relationship made me feel better because it's like, you know, my baby mom, she was pregnant, got cheated on, and fast forward, her and baby dad are cool. You know what I mean? Like they have a great relationship. You know, the kid is fine. The kid has mom and dad, and you know, nobody resorted to like, let me just destroy my life and take drugs. You know, because me and my baby mom, we've had our ups and downs. I've done my wrong. She did her wrong, and you know, that's just how it is. That's how life works out. But you know, you get cheated on, I get cheated on, doesn't give you the excuse to resort to drugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know how to explain it, but
There's
there's no
there's bum ass baby moms out here too. It ain't just some bum ass baby daddies.
right. And you know, I've always been private about the baby moms just because, but the shit that I've experienced in the past couple weeks and me trying to be a good father, it's just to the point now where I don't give a fuck. Um, I don't care about being on the internet and bashing baby mom. She could be seeing this right now, and I'm gonna do this. Well,
Fuck them.
fuck
Fuck
you.
her. Fuck
You know
them.
what I mean?
Turn that some bitch sideways and stick it straight up. You can do that.
At the end of the day, it's a big fuck you to the baby moms out there for sure. You know, because at the end of the day, I feel like we're getting a little off topic. You know, bitch tried to ruin my life. You know what I mean? Tried to call me a child pedophile to my own children, posting a video with my children saying inappropriate things about me on Facebook. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't feel like I need to hold back and keep anything private. You know, at the end of the day,
Right.
people that do drugs, man, like it's a sad thing, and I feel like you would be a bum ass parent if you can't fight those struggles. You know, at the end of the day, like after everything that I've been through, and you two personally know everything that I've been through. Low key a Tyler Perry movie.
Is there any room for grace with you dealing with? So if a person, as far as like having a drug addiction, do they have any room for grace?
Now, what do you mean by that? Because I get like, what do you mean?
Like Do you give them any sympathy due to the fact that they have a drug addiction? Even
I
though,
did. I did. I did. I did for sure. Up until recently, after everything like I've been through personally, I feel like it doesn't get any worse than somebody trying to fuck up your character and posting it online on Facebook with millions of people. Granted, it didn't get to 1 million people or 100,000 people, but it's a possibility that it could have, but yeah, after all that, yeah, I had some type of grace. Because if I didn't, I feel like I would have been like, fuck that bitch, you know.
what was it?
I wouldn't have given like a second chance, you know what I mean?
Got you.
At the end of the day, like I got full custody of the kids. I've been had custody for, 2021, 22. And for someone to be absent for so long, giving them a second chance, I feel like that's that's grace right there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. I agree with that.
So, but yeah, at this point, I have no sympathy. I have no grace. I don't even have any hope at this point. So definitely, um, you know,
Yeah.
So I really don't have the experience of like the baby mama. Um, I was a step parent, but I did jot down some things to kind of go with what we were going to talk about or what we're talking about, like when it comes to like baby mamas and co-parenting. I think one of the things that bother me when it comes to baby mamas is just that um, wanting to win. Like I feel like baby mamas always has this mentality of they have to win instead
Okay.
of not keeping the kid at kind of the forefront of you know, what is
Okay.
really happening.
Okay.
So many times, or been around so many people, my friends and shit, and I hear that their baby mama's like, "Well, then you can't see the kids, then." So I think that's a big issue when it comes to like fellas dealing with baby mamas.
Right. Yep. You hear that
yeah.
all the time.
And I mean, yeah, I know plenty of guys, friends and family that deal with that. Yeah, man. Like that shit's crazy, bro. It's
Listen,
crazy. Like we got to go through that. Because like I don't even do that. Like the way that certain baby mamas act towards the fathers out there, I definitely could be one of those bitter baby mamas that talk shit about the other parent and have your kids look at the other parent in a negative way. You know what I mean? Me personally, like I never did that. I just never. I don't think that it's right.
right. Yeah.
I, out of all the bullshit that my baby mama experienced in life, being in prison, being on drugs, and not just being absent for no fucking reason, I still never like they don't know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like that doesn't it's not gonna help them. You know what I mean? I don't want them to have hate for their mom at the end of the day.
Absolutely not.
Whether I fucking hate her at this point, like I can't stand the bitch. If the bitch was to die tonight, like I'm not gonna shed a tear. I might feel some type of way because of my children and the way they feel, but me personally, I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah, I feel that. I do have one more that I did kind of jot down, and it was the baby mama co-parenting. Um, I think a lot of the baby mamas that are not stable, they have a hard time juggling relationship over kind of just being a parent, being the baby mama. I think the emotions that they give to a father comes from the failed relationship, not thinking of the kids. So I actually also jot that one down. Again, it's just from experience from other people that I've been around.
yeah, I
Hey,
don't even know if this is related to what you just said, but I feel like baby mamas have that power. You know what I mean? Because if you have a baby mama and not a wife, like the baby mom automatically has 100% rights. You know what I mean? Like they're in 100% control of how everything goes.
That's what they think.
No, I mean that's what it is, bro. Like if you're not married, then the mother automatically has 100% of the right. She controls everything that goes on, unless you're a father that goes out, goes to court, and tries to fight for, like
Do you think it should be that way? Do you think
no, but
that
that's how it is though. But
right?
that's how it is. Whether I think like no, I don't think that. Like when I was going through shit, I feel like I should be able to take my kids to the doctors. I feel like I should be able to take my kids to school and sign them up for shit, but I can't because I don't have the rights. That's something that the mother has control over, you know? And yeah, that's not right, but
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't really know if that's the case. Again, I'm not in that position to say that I've been there. I don't have any kids of my own, but if I had to walk around with a birth certificate in my car that says I'm the father, I have the same rights to walk
does
up
it
in
matter though?
anywhere.
Nah, nah, doesn't.
I ain't saying right or wrong. Again, I don't have no experience with this, so I ain't gonna like,
Yeah.
I
I
ain't gonna
mean,
teeter the fence with you on like, oh, nah, I've not been there. I
yeah,
don't know what
I
that looks
mean,
like.
just put it this way, with somebody being on drugs, we lived in Ohio. Our kids were enrolled in Ohio schools. They lived in Ohio for a few years, and my baby mom just out of nowhere, under the influence of drugs, decided to take them away from their home and go to, you know, 20 hours away from their home with no plans, nothing, like no plans. You're just taking them away from me, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm on the birth certificate. My name's on there, but at the end of the day, I don't have the rights. When it comes to the courts, I have no rights. If I was to take my kids and get them out of that situation and get them away from a mother who is on drugs and could cause harm to them, if I was to take my kids and go to Maryland, I'm getting charged with kidnapping, bro. And I'm the dad. I'm getting charged with kidnapping at the end of the day because I don't have rights. The mother has all the rights in the world. If you have children with an unmarried woman, the mother has rights. You as a father have no rights.
I mean, you got rights, but I get what you're saying. You do
You
have rights.
have rights. You have rights, but at the same time, like the mother can pick up the kids and
She's like
say,
the sole
I'm moving to
custodian,
Florida, and
right?
there's nothing you can do about it. And
Right.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Well,
I couldn't pick my kids up and take them to Maryland and be like, we're moving to Maryland. If I
well,
did that and she said, bring my kids back, and I don't, I'm getting charged with kidnapping.
that is true, but
Yes.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, if you are the sole custodian of those kids, you can do the same thing that she could do. You know what I'm saying? If you have custody of the children and you up and want to leave,
Yeah.
the only way she can stop you is she have to go to court and do all this, and then you will have to come up with some kind of a plan. But the sole custodian, mothers parentally, I believe, do get,
100%
they
of the
get
right.
they get sole, to be the sole guardian or whatever the fuck custodial parent, unless you introduce the court systems
Right.
until you
But if we're
make.
talking about now, yes, you're correct, because I have custody of my kids. But I'm talking about just, before the fact.
Right. I got you. I want to tell all these. I want to tell all the bitches out there because I said I was on a bitch diet, but I have to refer to the bitches as the bitches. Okay, and so they know exactly who I'm talking to. I mean, this is bum ass and ladies, any ladies out there listening, this isn't about, again, this is not about bashing women. We know there's some bum ass baby dads out there too, but we don't know shit about that for real. I mean, I know some niggas who are not great dads or whatever, but we talking about some of our experiences and shit that we have information about. You got bitches who don't do shit at all for their kids. They up and dip. If you one of those people where you are running from from child support and you don't want you can't have an address because you're afraid to pay, but then you want to hit people up on holidays just to try to see the kid, and that's the only time you see the kid, you're a bum ass bitch.
Bum ass bitch.
If you want to complain and talk about when can I see my child every once in a blue moon, again on holidays and some shit like that, and try to play the victim like somebody's done something to you and like you just want to see your kids so bad, but you ain't went down to court to file no paperwork because you know once you do that, your address will be on file and then you have to pay child support, you a bum ass bitch.
Bum ass bitch.
If you already lost 3 kids, then you go and have 2 more and act like you only got 2, you a bum ass bitch.
Bum ass bitch.
If you ain't fucking teaching your kids shit about real life, about how to take care of yourself, how to conduct yourself in public, how to, things that are important, and not protecting them from other things because you want them to fit in with all the other kids because that's what everybody's doing, you a bum ass bitch.
Bum ass bitch.
If you want to make everything about it's got to be your way or no way at all, and we can't talk about it, and whatever you say go, and it's hard for you to communicate because you think that everything has to do with you and the baby's father, and he just wanting to get under your skin, or him just wanting to have control, or him just wanting to make things difficult, you a bum ass bitch. And 9 times out of 10, if the nigga's mature enough and he really love his kids, you the last fucking thing on his mind. I just want to let you know that.
You's a bum ass bitch.
You a bum ass bitch. If your house dirty as fuck and you ain't teaching kids how to clean up, you a bum ass bitch. If you got time to go on trips and you got time to do this and that, if you got time for everything but what's really important to the kids, and also having a healthy relationship with the father is one of those, you a bum ass bitch.
I like to call that you're just not a nice person.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. My house isn't clean all the time, so maybe I'm a bum ass nigga.
Nobody's house is clean at all times, but if you think that you busy, I see women out here that have kids, or single women, single moms that really have no help, that really have niggas that's not involved or they even don't want to be involved in their kids' life at all. And they get up in the morning, they get their kids together, they make sure they look proper, they look put together for school, they look like somebody loves them, they make breakfast, they take them wherever they need to go, they go to work, they get off of work, they come home, if they got little girls and their hair needs to be done, they make sure that shit gets done. They make sure that, they make sure dinner is done. They take care, they make sure their house is clean, they make sure that they're clean, their kids are clean, and they do it all alone. And they got the same 24 hours in a day. So just to think that as long as they wake up and make it home and you're doing something, you're not. If you won't let the dad be a dad to the kids, you're a bum ass bitch. There's a mother and a father for a reason, and all the nurturing and all that shit is all well and good. You can give them something that I can't. But at the same time, that a father's hand is a father's touch, is needed, and it's a balance, and it's a yin and a yang. And if you more concerned with having baby mama and baby daddy drama because that's just what it is, you're a bum ass bitch. Half the time, if you think niggas think they give a fuck about because you done moved on. So now they trying to make your life hell, or you want to make their life miserable, or you don't want to communicate the same way that y'all used to because you think it might look weird with your new relationship. You're a bum ass bitch. And to double down on what Shannon said, at the end of the day, the kids are the most important thing. That's how I feel. I've had my share of time back when I was younger, when I would do things. And, at that time, I didn't realize I was doing that. I thought, it's just, she made me mad. It was never, well, I'm not going to get my kids. You know what I'm saying? But if you do something to me and I do something petty back to you, yeah, I was there at one point. But you get older and you realize like that shit ain't beneficial to nobody. And it don't help the kids at all. It don't do nothing. Using the kids as weapons. Well, you're not gonna see the kids anymore. Or I'm changing my number and you won't see her for a while. What is that doing for anybody?
It doesn't do anything.
When you can't say nothing, but every time, say a nigga get a new job and you know how them child support checks stop for a couple of weeks before the new job kicks in and they start pulling it from there. But now all of a sudden your text messages work. Now you can communicate because your extra little stream of income ain't coming in. Now your phone work. You a bum ass bitch. If you're talking through the kids to relay messages to the other parent, you're a
He's a
bum
bum
ass
ass
bitch.
bitch.
So I mean that's just some of my thoughts. Again, this ain't directed at anybody. These are some of my experience, and if you know me, you know I got multiple baby moms. It is what it is. Sorry, my dingaling works. All right.
But I feel like we've been talking about baby mamas. It goes both ways though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's some shitty ass baby dads out there. But that goes to what you were saying earlier about, a mother that can wake up, make sure their kids dressed, ready for school, dinner's ready, all that. They're doing it without, the other parent. And, it goes both ways. There's fathers out there that got to do it alone, and there's moms out there that got to do it alone. So,
Absolutely.
just bum ass people they got to deal with.
Absolutely. And like Swayze said too, the kids aren't yours. They're not your kids. They're our kids. You don't get to just up and do whatever the fuck you want to do with them without trying to have some sort of a mature or adult or, you know what I'm saying, co-parenting conversation about the best interest of both kids. And whether you agree or you don't, the conversation should still be able to be had respectfully without any backhanded shit, subliminal shit, just little petty slights. It doesn't help anything. You don't have to like each other to be able to have a conversation, especially when you got a common goal. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm sure that I could be called out on some of the things that I've done or things that I've said. But I've never tried to jeopardize my kid's future just in spite of somebody else. And if you do that, you're a bum ass nigga, you're a bum ass bitch. And I just don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that at all.
Yeah,
So
I feel you. But yeah, when it comes to, I feel like when it comes to like being a parent and caring about my kids, I'm gonna have to grade myself a 10 out of 10, bro.
all right. Well,
Like,
you heard it here first. Swayze's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to being a dad.
yeah, like
Nobody's perfect, Swayze.
no one's perfect, but when it comes to putting the kids first, yeah. I'm not perfect when it comes to being a dad, but when it comes to my kids, yeah. I'm gonna give myself a 10 out of 10. I'm not perfect on things I may teach them or things I'm not teaching them, But when it comes to respecting the other parent, like definitely a 10 out of 10 in that category. Like, you
Yeah.
Okay.
know,
Shout out to all the 10 out of 10 dads
all
out
right,
there.
not nine out of 10.
9 out of
9 out of 10. Because
shut up.
the way you're saying, I feel a little doubt. You know what I mean? So it's
Nah.
like I'm not perfect, but I mean, it's like, we have this podcast and we talk about different things. We talk about sports, we talk about entertainment, but when it comes to this parent shit, like that's something I'm 100%, I don't need any research. Like that's what I do. You know what I mean? That's something that I would grade myself highly on, being a parent, most definitely.
And there's nothing wrong with that, as you should. You know what I mean? And you're doing a great job. If
So,
nobody hasn't told you, I'll tell you. You're doing a great job, man.
yeah, I hear it every day, thanks to, my significant other. She reminds me of that.
Shout out to your significant other. For sure. We need women that support. And shout out to all the stepmoms out there. All of them. Any woman that's willing to take in a kid that's not hers and treat them like their own, shout out. Shout out to you.
Hey, shout out to the
And
stepdads out
the stepdaddies, you know what I
there.
mean? Shout
Hey,
out.
he was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, I got you. Shout out to the stepdads as well. You know what I'm saying?
And I
That's
ain't
it.
gonna lie though. I mean, man, I don't want to say it, but I mean, I feel like the stepmom in my situation has provided more love than the actual mom.
Well,
Nah, bro.
I don't know. I mean, maybe so. But again, your situation is a little different.
My
I
my situ listen,
I give it a little grace. They got and
listen,
they got a problem. You know what I'm saying? If they're dealing with some problems, obviously I'm trying not to give people excuses, but
listen.
you
My
know,
situation obviously is different, and if people that are watching and listening are like a little confused, hit the chat if you want another episode on like, this. That's, because we can talk for hours about that, but
yeah. But
you know,
people have the great thing about life is, you know, you got 24 hours and God willing you get another one. And every day is a chance for you to become better, a better mother, a better father, a better person, a better man, a better woman. And I personally like to give people the grace, and I feel like
see,
that people always have a chance to make to turn over a new leaf. And
all right, but hold on real quick.
if they don't right now, maybe right now at this age, she's not she's not the best thing for to be in the kid's life. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about anybody in
Nah,
general. Maybe they're not. But when they become older, the kids, they become adults, they have their own decisions that they can make, whether they want to get to know somebody or let somebody else into their life, and that gives them an opportunity to still be their parent. Whether And you can't change the past, but every day, you never, you know.
yeah, I feel you on that, but I disagree with you on that also because I mean, age has nothing to do with that. Like for you, I don't know when you had your first kid, you had your first kid when you were young. So you were a young parent. And at the end of the day, no matter what you went through, like I've known you my whole life and you've been a good dad. The shit we've been through, the shit we experienced, like nothing stopped you from being a good dad.
But
So,
there's people out
eh,
there, I'm sure you can find somebody out there that would say totally the opposite. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
but but it but if we're talking personal experience, what you said like in the beginning, like I had grace. I don't have grace at this point. At this point. When
yeah,
you say you get a second chance, I mean, someone I know had a second chance, bro. Someone I know hit rock bottom
I get
and
it.
they had a chance where they had their other child and you had a chance to do right. But once you go ahead and you go back to the one thing that just ruined everything.
So I hear what you're saying, Swayze, but what I'm saying, based on what I was just saying, is that grace isn't for you to give. at the end of the day, your kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna become adults. And if she reach out or they feel like they want to reach out, and maybe she's changed her life, maybe she hasn't. But sometimes, if they want to know where they came from, who they are, have some sort of relationship, but keep them at a distance, they may want to do that. And then that's going to be their grace to give, no matter how you feel. So that's all I'm saying. People still have a chance to an
Yeah,
opportunity to be parents, even though you may fuck it up at the beginning. There's always time to make a change.
fucking it up at the beginning, the middle, close to the end, yeah. And I mean, I've always had grace when it comes to that situation, but I've recently dealt with something that like, put me, right now I got to worry about them. That's it. Like,
So
I
if
tried.
I could just tell just a quick story. So, for my career, I deal with special need individuals, adult, and some of the adults that I deal with that I support and take care of have some real bad trauma when it comes to their parents. And for us that kind of support them, we kind of think like, hey, look, your mom and dad did A, B, and C to you. But when you speak of their parents and when they see their parents, it's like they have never been through that trauma. They're so happy to see them. So they give that grace. They definitely give grace to their parents, no matter the trauma they've been through. Because in our eyes, we'd be like, I don't know why you're so excited to see them after what all they have done, all they have said. But still, to this day, you know, current clients they just really happy to see their parents, no
Right.
matter the trauma they've been through. So you talk about offering that grace. Kids are going to offer that grace when they get older, and ain't really much we can
Man,
do but kind of support
I
them through
would,
that.
to comment on that, I wouldn't even say the kids will give grace when they're older. The kids will give grace at any point in time. My kids gave grace now. After my kids are in fifth grade, sixth grade. Mother has been absent since kindergarten and preschool.
Right. And that's all we were saying, though.
So, but what I'm saying is that, yeah, like we all give grace. Like just a couple months ago, they talked to her and all the trauma that they've been through, that shit went out the window, bro.
But it's
Just
always
like just what Shannon said, the way that they feel once they heard and talked to their mother, bro, it was all that trauma went out the window. It was all about right now. It was all about they were excited, they were happy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's good for her. That's good for her. I mean, it's just up to her at this point, or any other mom or dad out there, is that you got to do your part and you got to get your shit together. And whatever struggles you going through, you know what I'm saying? You can just pray for them. And, as the custodial parent of a kid that's dealing with something like that, your job is to just to be the rock that they do need and be that stability, that foundation, and love them unconditionally. Let them know that they are loved, and that they are smart, they're special, that they are, whatever that, and pray that the other side gets their shit together. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm not gonna go deep into my shit, but I got a bum ass, absent ass baby mom, but I would never be like, hey, just this person doesn't exist. You don't really know who they are. I'm gonna be a filter between the two, and you got to make sure that I'm just not gonna let you around just because you feel like being around. All of a sudden, you're in town or whatever. You're drunk, and now you miss your kids and shit, and it's their birthday or some shit. I'm not gonna let you near, but if you put the work in and you show that, hey, this is important to you now, I'm never gonna close that door.
Yeah. I never closed that door, but right now I definitely closed the door.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Nah,
wrong with that at all.
not nothing at all.
Um, I guess, man. Did anybody got anything else before we move on and wrap this up? No. All right.
Ain't got nothing. I think we did good there.
Anybody got any bars? I got a bar. I can go. Safe
I
sex
don't have a
is.
bar. I did sit here and look up one though, but I don't have one.
I got y'all. Safe sex is great sex. Better wear latex because you don't want that late text that I think I'm late.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. Fucking
That's Wayne, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
Shout out to one of the goats.
That was gonna be my first guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I already knew that was Wayne because I heard that song and that. Yeah.
All right. So, you got a bar?
I mean, I had a bar, but yeah, I feel like my bar ain't really like, I don't know. It's just great. And it ain't even a rap bar. It's a country bar. And it has something to do with toxic. But
Let's
yeah.
hear it.
Um, man, I'm gonna regret this, but we're like fire and gasoline. You're no good for me, I'm no good for you. We only cause each other sorrow and misery.
word for word, bar for bar.
That's it. Christian, it's called Tomorrow, I think. But that's just something I got off the top of my head.
Shout out to
You're gonna
Christian.
regret that when you hear it back.
Definitely am gonna regret that. So hopefully you guys can edit this part
Nope.
and just end it where you had your bar. You said, I got you guys, but exit this shit, bro. Like I said, man, on some people might be looking at me crazy, but I've had a long weekend. I've dealt with some ups and downs this weekend for sure. So today was a day where I just got loose.
And that's what the pod is for, guys. That's what everybody make sure you hit a thumbs up for Swayze letting loose today and sharing his experiences with us. Make sure y'all please do that. And let us know what y'all think. If you got a bum ass baby mom or a bum ass baby dad, let us know. Unless you one of my baby moms and we don't want to fucking hear from you. So fuck out of here. So today, looking for love, y'all. Before we get the fuck up out of here, one of our favorite parts of the show, we got, obviously this is not their name, but this is their name on Facebook dating, is Magic Love. They are 43. She's located in Chicago, Illinois, and they're 5'5". Magic Love, 43. Only men, straight to the point. I just got out of a 10-year situationship. I'm looking for someone to have casual XXX with, 6 to 10 inches. I don't want to hear I'm nice. You know how big you are. I'm very blunt and straight to the point, as you can see. I'm a BBW. I smoke weed and drink. I don't give out my number. I have Snapchat. We need to FaceTime or go out to see if we vibe. I'll pay for my own stuff if we go out. I'm naturally born woman. I don't want my time wasted. That's Magic Love. She's 43. So
That's all.
if you're looking for a BBW, and as long as you 6 to 10 inches, looking for XXX, sounds like a good fucking time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and that's a quick no for me. When I heard a 10-year situationship, I'm sorry, bro. You shouldn't be in a situation for 10 years, bro. That's damn near marriage, bro.
Who am I to say? Who am I to talk?
I grade that in
bro. Yeah, I don't even know if that's an F, bro, because I feel like an F is like a 50 to 69%, 60%. This is like a 10%, bro. That was the worst of the worst.
What's the worst of the worst? Well, she ain't for you. S. Dot. Any other gentleman out there?
Again?
Magic
Chicago.
Love, 43. She's from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
All right. So that's all we got for y'all today, man. If you still here with us, we appreciate it. We appreciate y'all listening. Go back, check out some of our older shit. We got a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I almost forgot. You know what I'm saying? We got the Deons today, Niner colors. It ain't football season, but something I was able to grab real quick last minute. So shout out to Dion. And that's that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's been real. 83 Kicks, S. Dot, Swayze baby. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all time. And everybody out there listening, I appreciate y'all as well. And we out.
bucks, making millions.